Okay, so now that you've entered this information in your notebook, we're going to move on to our foldable for today. So the instructions on your haiku page tell you to get a copy of the foldable from the teacher, and it looks something like this. And so what you're going to do is you're going to cut on these solid lines on the outside of the figure, and when you do that, it's going to look something like this. You can save the heading if you want. You can glue that in your notebook. You don't have to, but if you want to glue it in your notebook, you can. Then what I did is I flipped it over and I folded on the dotted lines so that it looks something like this. And then I cut on those lines in the center so that now you have a 4-part foldable, and it says step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and under each step I'm going to ask you to copy down the steps that we wrote over here in our notebook. So under step 1, you would open that up, and if you want to do it in the same color that you used to color code the previous page of your notebook, you can, or you can just do it with a pencil. But step 1 we said was make the divisor a whole number. So hopefully you get what I'm going to ask you to do here by moving the decimal the entire way to the right. So when you're done, this is what step 1 should look like. I mean, I did mine in the same color. You don't have to do yours in the same color, but you certainly can. So pause the video right now. Go back to this page in your notebook, and I want you to copy those steps into the correct location on your foldable. And don't move on until you've done that in your foldable. So at this point, if you've moved on, then you should have steps 2, 3, and 4 copied out of your notebook onto the back of the flap that says step 2, 3, and 4. At this point, we're going to do at least one example, if not 2 examples, in this particular part of our notebook. So I'm going to ask you to divide your paper in half, and you're going to do 2 different examples. The first example looks like this. It's 29 3/10 divided by 2 5/10. So that's the first one that you're going to do. So if you want to copy that down, you can certainly pause it right now if you want to. Or you could go ahead and copy down the second one, and then you can come back and do them at separate times. This is example number 2. Example number 2 looks like this. It says 6 28/100 divided by 4 thousandths. So there are your 2 examples. You can't move on into the next activity until you have finished both of these. So take a few minutes and follow your steps to solve both of these division problems. And then, of course, this is going to go glued into your notebook as instructed on your haiku page for today. Thanks.